I'm Michael D'Arminio, Arbonne's Chief Creative Officer, and I'm here to talk about Arbonne's advantage. As a company, Arbonne is committed to 3 product categories: skincare, which is our lead category, followed by nutrition, and color cosmetics. Our primary focus is skincare with an increased emphasis on RE9 and Genius, followed by nutrition and then color cosmetics. As we lead into the future, we are perfectly positioned as a beauty and health and wellness brand, especially as we continue to link the benefits between skincare and nutrition. Beauty and health and wellness from the inside out. That is absolutely our core positioning. And interestingly enough, as research deepens, our understanding of the links between intestinal health and the appearance of the skin, there is more evidence than ever to support this basis for inner and outer beauty. And in my opinion, Arbonne has some of the best products in the industry to support this vision. But it starts first with our ingredient policy, right? That's exactly what we stand for. That is our fundamental principle. Arbonne's ingredient policy is unique in the industry in that it is a living, breathing policy. And that is really unique, and I want to make sure everyone understands that. We combine the best of science and nature, and we are constantly going back to our policy, and we meet monthly internally as a team to review our ingredients, our competition, and research to ensure that we are not only competitive in the marketplace, but are providing the most up-to-date and relevant policy that ultimately delivers some of the best leading products in the industry to you and for all of us to stand behind with pride and confidence. But we also want to ensure that we deliver policy that is unique and substantiated and moving us forward so we maintain that relevance and competitive edge. In my opinion, that constant challenge and reflection on an ingredient policy is one of our key advantages here at Arbonne versus the competition. So now I want to talk a little bit about the industry and how Arbonne compares, and I thought this was really interesting to share with everyone out there. So in the first half of 2015, there's been such an interesting shift in leading skincare companies. So in the US prestige department stores, so that includes retailers like Macy's, Sephora, Ulta, Nordstrom, the 3 leading brands out there, and it's always been like that for years. It's Clinique, followed by Lauder, followed by Lancome, right, in the skincare arena. Well, interestingly enough, for the first half of 2015, all 3 companies in skincare are down. Clinique is down -6.8%, followed by Lauder, which is down by 4.8%, followed by Lancome, which is down 4.3%. And that is documented by a source called NPD, which actually publishes retail sell-through in those key department stores. And that's incredible. So in my 20 plus years of experience in this industry, I have never seen anything like that before where all 3 brands are equally down. And it sends a very clear message to me. So in my opinion, I think that's based on a couple of things going on in the industry. So these brands are obviously established brands. They've been in the business for a long time, and they are in full retail distribution, meaning there is very limited department store distribution growth. Very little place for them to grow in terms of additional distribution, right? Because they're maxed out in terms of distribution. And 2, I also think that these mega brands, in my opinion, are starting to lose some relevance with today's, and I call it the ingredient conscious consumer, right? So we see the trend in how consumers are becoming even more actively engaged with what ingredients go into products, reading every single label, researching pros, cons. And as a result of all of that, I really do believe that that's impacting some of the brands in the marketplace. And for that reason, I believe that Arbonne is perfectly positioned for the future, right? We deliver outstanding results in a well-designed ingredient policy that is relevant today and also into the future. And this represents a huge opportunity for all of us. I believe the consumer is going to continue to challenge what ingredients are in a product, and we will continue to see this impact the competition and offers all of us the opportunity to gain market share and traction as we build this business together. And then I think, well, you know what, let's take a look at maybe our brand, Arbonne, and specifically a product that I'm quite proud of, like Genius. So again, looking at that same time period, so January through June 2015, and I look at the Arbonne Genius resurfacing pads. Globally, that one SKU is up 35% versus a year ago. And again, when we compare that to leading brands out there, that just sends such an important signal and message, which shows the power of what we're all committed to doing and the ability to create success in the marketplace with a strict ingredient policy and a brand that has been built over 35 years, right? So I think that's such an incredible story for you all to share with your network and your downline. So next I want to talk a little bit about validation, right? So I'm a firm believer in providing substantiation on what we say. I want to provide documentation and substantiation that, we obviously do what we say, right? So that when you're out there representing Arbonne, you can speak with confidence and authority about our mission and what we do here. So our message we have been sending for years was far ahead of the industry in that we formulate without gluten, we are vegan, and we formulate with non-GMO ingredients, right? That's the message that we always send. And when I came to Arbonne, this was a key advantage for us, and I clearly saw that. That is absolutely where the marketplace is moving. And for us, at the same time, I really wanted that validation that really supports that vision and that path. So as a result, I initiated third-party validations with the Vegan Society, gluten-free validation, and now we're in the process of sending out our products to be non-GMO validated. This is expensive and it's incredibly labor-intensive, but it's so critical so that when we speak with confidence about Arbonne and our products, you can absolutely stand behind them, that we absolutely do what we say, right? That is so important for both of us. In addition to the above, we recently launched our sports line, PhytoSport. And again, the validation of an organization like the BSCG, the Banned Substance Control Group, absolutely supports and sends the right message in validating our products and the mission that we're all on together. And then also just recently, we just initiated validation and certification by the OU Kosher organization. And we've just moved through our first wave of nutritional products, and we'll continue on that mission because again, we absolutely believe in the validation and certification of these really critical third-party organizations, right? In addition to that, when we speak about validation, I just want to talk for a minute about all of our incredibly important clinical trials. So clinical trials are another incredible validation of our products, our ingredient policy, and our mission. We invest in third-party clinical lab independent testing because we want to validate and communicate the efficacy and results of our products, right? So we can use great words and we can speak about products, but there's nothing like facts and figures. And you will continue to see this, and it's an incredible tool for you when speaking about our products. We have an incredible ingredient policy, but while at the same time, our products deliver outstanding results, right? And that's what's important about these clinical trials because it absolutely substantiates our pure, safe, beneficial positioning while also speaking to incredible clinical results of our products. Now I want to jump into speaking a little bit about our nutrition business. The nutrition category, meaning capsules, powders, liquids, globally, okay, so globally, has a growth rate on average of about 2 to 3% annually. It's a multi-billion-dollar business and is expected to grow as consumers continue to be focused on overall health and wellness, right? And when I look at Arbonne's nutritional growth globally, in the calendar year 2014 versus 2013, same time period, right, versus the category, I think this is a really stellar fact. So Arbonne Nutrition has experienced 49% growth. Guys, that's outstanding when you look about how that compares to the category. And it really, again, shows for me two incredibly important things. One, the incredible ability of all of our Arbonne independent consultants and the voice that they send, right, when they're hitting the ground running. And that also our products work and deliver against our promise, right? Our promise of pure, safe, and beneficial, and our promise of delivering outstanding products. Speaking about delivering against our promise, so there are 2 incredible clinical studies that we initiated on our nutritional products just recently, that when they are available, we will share with you, and again, substantiates the credibility and value and our Arbonne advantage of these products. So when I came into this business, all I ever heard from all of our consultants is that you experience this amazing transformation, both personally as well as professionally. And I've heard such incredible stories from all of you, and I thought, okay. So I wish there was a study that we could actually initiate that is a legitimate study, right, that's validated on our nutrition products that speak to this transformation, that speak to this quality of life that really does happen as you enter this business, and specifically Arbonne. So after speaking to our scientific advisory board, we initiated a study called an SF36 form with independent institutions, which measures exactly that, quality of life. And the results of these studies, which in my opinion will be an incredible tool for all of you to drive your business forward, will absolutely be available for you to share. Guys, this is huge because you now have incredible clinical results on our skincare, and you're gonna have 2 incredible validated clinical studies on the quality of life of our nutritional products. That is amazing, incredibly amazing in terms of a tool for all of you to build your business. And last but not least, I just want to talk about the industry for a bit because, being with Arbonne now for the past couple of years, I've spent some time looking at how Arbonne really does compare against, leading direct selling companies and established leading brands and companies like Herbalife or Nu Skin. So this I thought was a really interesting fact. So when you look at companies like Herbalife or Nu Skin, right? About 25% of their business is driven from the US. And then the majority of their business is actually driven from the international marketplace. And then I immediately said, okay, well, let me see how that compares to Arbonne. Well, for Arbonne, we're a well-established 35-year young brand, but interestingly enough, the majority of our sales are actually coming from the US and Canada. While at the same time, we have incredible great success and growth in our international established countries. So the UK and Australia and Poland is off to great success. So for an established company like Arbonne, right? So just listen to this. So for an established company like Arbonne that has been around for 35 years, and as we start to chart our path for international and start to continue to open up additional countries and markets, just imagine what our business will look like as we continue to expand internationally. Arbonne for me represents being on the ground floor of an established company that represents limitless opportunity for growth. Our potential together is enormous. So I always say, if you have any doubts or think, I'm not sure, am I committed to this business? Really take a look at everything we've talked about, from the products to the policy to all of the incredible clinicals and validation and the opportunity in terms of growth as we start to expand beyond our existing markets. I think to myself, wow, what an incredible Arbonne advantage that truly is, and I really do believe it is tremendous. Thanks for listening and to our future success together. Thanks so much.